I was enough in the situation to arouse him to give me a
What
job.
are you fucking... What are you saying? What the fuck? What a weird guy. How does someone get so far gone? Like, the delusion... You hear about Dr. Disrespect using images from the Cyberpunk trailer for his NFT game? Heard that was an accident, but yeah, I did hear about it. Apparently it was just supposed to be placeholders for their site that went live, I don't know. Oh yeah, Gunner posted a new video. I wanted to watch that one. He told me about that. Damn, Gunner's kind of popping off. Good shit. Yeah, it was about the Logan Paul guy. So the guy who asked Logan Paul for a job, that shit was super goofy. I guess he went on Dr. Phil too. Dr. Phil probably can't even spell YouTube. Why would he care?
This is real. I walked to New York City. Oh my god, the Big Apple. It's crazy. Was that honestly much different than what $sign Empire did? Hey, whatever happened to this guy? This fella right here. You know the guy who went viral on TikTok 6 months ago.
And the recent Fernando and Zombie.
Jake Paul's fight against Tyron Woodley, justifying Logan Paul and begging for a job. The TikTok got 15 million views, and it basically went something like this. I just quit my job, Logan Paul. Can I have a job, Logan Paul? What are you good at? Oh, I'm not good at anything. Do you have what it takes?
There's a good pitch on it. It was actually a pretty good pitch.
I don't have any friends? Good luck, man. Don't believe me? Fuck it. Here's the full clip.
I quit my job legit, trying to talk about trying to get a job.
Butter.
I was 7 dances.
Oh, so you really got what it takes.
I don't.
Then why would I need a mentor? You have people, friends?
I don't.
Friends? You got friends. You got amigos.
I don't.
Bro, you're a good-looking guy, bro. You have friends, bro. You're fucking lying.
Thanks for the bits, Edgar.
And then cut to him crying in his car about quitting his $100K a year salary job as a welder, and Logan not hiring him on the spot, despite telling him he really, really wanted it.
I just talked to Logan Paul. I make $100,000 a year.
Well, his name is Austin Wallace, and he got clowned out by the whole internet for basically being spoiled and looking for a handout, which he was. But Austin appeared to have learned his lesson and swore he wouldn't give up on his dream of becoming an influencer.
I just want to instant gratification, I know, and I should have known it doesn't.
What does his hat say? No fuck. What? What does that mean? Is that like a brand? Oh, is there an S there? No fucks? It looks like a period. I don't think that's an S. No, that doesn't look plural. It looks like a period. No fuck. Full stop.
Doesn't work like that.
Oh, you're right.
Hard work and dedication. 365 days. Damn. I'm going to be in LA. I'm living in LA.
His villain origin story is old news, but it's necessary backstory because this week I decided to check in on Austin Wallace and see how he was doing.
Or to be an influencer. A few months ago, I started posting
stuff on
social media. Some of the media influencers I like are the Paul brothers. Logan and Jake Paul.
He even says he's bad at it.
Okay, well, there's your first mistake. Taking Xanax before Dr. Phil interview is never a good idea, and your second mistake was idolizing the Paul brothers. It's kind of bizarre the world we live in, where now some current fans of the Paul brothers are fully grown men with fully grown beards. Austin is 23. He's my age, but doesn't act like it, as is the case with any other human who grew up thinking these two were good influences. Austin is the type of guy in high school who would take post-it notes and make what's called a paper wasp to launch it
fuck yeah.
Band, except he would go a step further, and he would put thumbtacks in the post-it note to literally impale people on impact. I realize it's a very specific thing I'm claiming he used to do, but you can't convince me otherwise he didn't do it.
Since the video went viral about meeting Logan Paul, people have been really saying hateful stuff. I'm entitled, you know,
as a
to jump off a building. It's so stupid that you quit your job.
Hold on, you can't just slip one hateful thing in the middle of 3 comments and that makes them all hateful. Calling you spoiled or saying you shouldn't have quit your job is different than telling you to jump off a building. 2 of those are criticisms, and 1 is wishing death upon you. Yeah, it sucks. I'm getting all these hateful comments telling me that I shouldn't expect handouts, that I should literally douse myself in gasoline, light a match, and burn alive. And that my beard looks dumb.
So what did you think was going to happen? You drive up and ask for a job.
I thought maybe I was going to get lucky. Not lucky, but like, I felt like maybe he was going to say, hey, come on, I'll give you some advice. Let's go talk.
How delusional do you have to be?
I think a big part of Austin's problem is that he just can't use words. And he doesn't really know what he means when he says things. Take what he just said, for instance. I was hoping I was going to get lucky. No, I wasn't. I was hoping I'd get advice, which Logan did give him. No, I was hoping to get an internship, which would have just been getting lucky, right? So you were trying to get lucky, so just stick to that.
I was upset. I didn't feel like I was enough in the situation to arouse him to give me a job.
What are you fucking... What are you saying? What the fuck? What a weird guy. How does someone get so far gone? Like, the delusion is baffling. Still so shameless about this situation, as if only I could have aroused Logan Paul more, I'd have a job right now. He had one more TikTok about it. I think he tried to make merch out of it. Does anyone remember what it was called? It wasn't No Fucks, I don't think. What was his merch called? No one remembers. Yeah, it sounds about right.
Oh, arouse him? What? Oh, like turn him on? Gross. Oh, I mean, it's a valid strategy, but oh my, gross. Kind of changes the whole connotation of the getting lucky thing. Did you want to fuck Logan Paul? Is that what this is all about? Look, I support you, brother. It's just a big curveball, and Jake is clearly hotter. The interview kind of ends with this weird segment where Dr. Phil brings in To Touch an Emu, the guy who made those really viral headphone dances that he wouldn't stop milking the fuck out of. I hate that Justin Bieber song now because of him, and Dr. Phil just kind of makes him do his dance with him to see if he has what it takes, and he doesn't. Regardless, Dr. Phil didn't really address the problem with us.
He never does.
He's encouraged it by having him on and connecting him to another influencer he can try to finesse exposure from. Now, what do I mean when I say that? Well, let's take a look at Austin's channel and some of his videos. Sneaking into Danny Duncan World Tour. The Island Boys Scared Me. How I Met Bryce Hall.
Yeah, I want to see that one. What was that? What's his channel? I could probably just type in The Island Boys Scared Me. Yeah, I want to see that one.
Real. I walked in
that one sounds like a banger.
It's New Year's edition.
Wow, this is really loud. Holy shit. So this guy wants to be the Paul brothers, but without any personality.
Austin quit his lucrative job as a welder to achieve social media fame.
There you go.
This guy's good.
Denali, you guys remember my other vlogs? It broke down. So thank God for freaking Facebook Marketplace. Got this thing for $200. I went back to Will.
Your brother.
Him?
Yeah.
That ain't my brother though. You imbecile.
What is happening?
Well, he would win in a fight.
What the fuck is this?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, you got COVID?
Don't talk to me, bro. Are you supposed to be another Logan Paul brother? We could give you good advice because we're not trying to tear you down.
What is going on? What is this? This is like
we're just trying to tell you, okay,
glitch dialogue in Skyrim.
It works, you know what I mean? Expand your mindset.
All right, cool.
I'm done with this conversation.
Bro, they are trolling like AF, and I don't need advice from
what the fuck just happened?
But I am gonna.
Oh, I was gonna say he had someone film for him? Guess not. That would have thrown out the whole thing he said about having no friends.
Alright, I made it.
He really might not have any friends. Yeah, this is just fucking sad. Oh my god. Oh my god. I actually don't even think the Island Boys thing was like a real scene. I think he just spliced together like a duet on TikTok.
Sneaking into Danny Duncan World Tour. The Island Boys Scared Me. How I Met Bryce Hall. From the looks of it, it seems like he's still trying to use other influencers to prop up his career, which was the problem with the Logan Paul situation. No one was mad that he was trying to make it in social media. That's cool. It's that he wanted and thought he deserved instant success from somebody else, as evident of him being upset at Logan Paul.
I think he earned
after the fact. I want to be a successful YouTuber. You know what I'm not
The Island Boys scared the shit out of him.
Sneak into YouTube HQ and demand Susan Wojcicki to pump up my channel. Because, well, Susan, with no due respect, I think I'm pretty funny. Can you do some shit about that? Let's take a look at this video from Austin. Ask Bryce Hall to box, because I think it will elaborate on what I'm trying to get at.
I was told that Bryce Hall is going to be in Destin, Florida. Anyway,
so all this guy does is try and put himself in front of
and I decided,
YouTubers.
You know, I like taking opportunity.
And TikTokers.
And I do what I can with opportunity. I'm going to go see him and try to get a job.
Great. Okay, so no lessons have been learned, and you're going to do the same exact thing you got ridiculed online for by asking Bryce Hall for a job now. I thought you said before that you weren't looking for quick gratification and that you understand it takes hard work. Why are you still asking other influencers, now even younger than you, for a job?
And I'm not all alone this time. I got my boy, Brandon.
Hey, Brandon.
AKA not my friend, just a camera guy.
You got friends, you gotta be ghosts.
Fuck this guy. Fuck my cameraman. We are just business acquaintances. So Austin and his not friend Brandon just kind of show up at Bryce Hall's pop-up tent for his energy drink brand with Josh Richards, where they're doing signatures for their teenage girl fans, where Austin definitely fits in at. Once again, like the Jake Paul fight, he's not invited, and this time he's not even a fan of them, just walking right up to them with a camera in their face asking for a job. Yeah, you know what's actually the best way to make sure no one ever gives you a job? Filming yourself asking, yo Bryce, yo, over here, yo, can I get a job? Like, I know, like, you're busy doing stuff, but, like, I could really use a job. Are you getting aroused yet?
I went on to Logan and asked for a job. That is right. But can I have a job? I can do anything. No, I just moved back with my parents. They're my bro.
This is going very well.
I mean, let's sell you can sign. Yeah. You can sell one of these bitches.
I'm not a fanboy.
I know, but you can sell it.
Yeah, you're right.
Austin, why say I'm not your fanboy? Bryce was actually being pretty nice to you, and then you just dropped that line for no reason. You would think if all you do is trying to get things from people, you'd be better at it.
You should, like, at least pretend.
You should be nice to the person you're begging for a job from. Bryce, I'm not your fanboy. I don't like you. Give me a job. You know what I hate about this situation is that they can't go anywhere.
Austin is such a suave operator.
Just have to stay there and try to get rid of Austin. So they awkwardly sign his cans, and Bryce says to Austin what I guarantee he thought was a throwaway line to make him leave.
Yeah, I want to come out to LA, for real.
Well, if you come to LA, you can definitely go out with us.
Well, that just changed his whole life. That actually changed his whole life.
And your much younger cousin
One
comes up to you and says, "Hey, can we play Minecraft?" And you say, "No, sorry, buddy, like not right now." And they say, "Okay, bet. When?" You gotta say, "Oh, I don't know, like maybe like an hour," just to try to shake him off. And exactly an hour later, that kid spawns at your door like a demon saying, "We are playing." Like my 12-year-old cousin, Austin hung on to those words. We can definitely collab. And he gets his number from an anonymous source and then texts him, gets no answer, and then tries to FaceTime him, no answer.
God, that's so fucking creepy.
He just shows up at his house.
My hope was literally belittling, so I decided to go.
That's not how that word works, but whatever.
Encourage anyone to do this. Never go up to a YouTuber's house. But I was literally thinking I had no other choice. As I was sitting there in front of his house, I decided that this is definitely not the right way to go.
Oh, nice.
Thank God you realized that, because that's fucking scary.
Thanks,
3 months ago, Bryce said,
Spain, and laced.
Psychotic behavior. And I love that message. I don't encourage this. Nobody do this. But I'm going to do this. That's one way to avoid criticism. Look, guys, I do not condone doing drugs. Nobody should do drugs. But I'm going to do a lot of ketamine this weekend. Now, again, thankfully, Austin backed out and didn't actually go up to his door. But apparently, this isn't even the first time he's done this. Rewind back to after the Logan Paul incident. Austin flew to Puerto Rico to film a comeback video, sort of like a Rocky parody thing. Do you know who also happens to live in Puerto Rico? Logan Paul. Now, here's a video of the guy who was filming that parody for Austin. And
this is super sad, honestly.
Austin actually didn't get any sleep from last night when he flew over, so he's going on 2 days without sleep. So he says he's going to go for a walk and clear his head. Give him a call. Turns out he's been sitting outside of Logan Paul's house for who knows how long. And he's telling me he's going to go up and ring Logan Paul's door right now.
Are we starting to see a pattern here? A really creepy stalker-ish pattern? This isn't Austin filming for a YouTube video anymore. It's harassment. To be fair, I don't know if this guy's telling the truth, actually. In the Danny Duncan video on Austin's channel, he sneaks into Danny's live event to ask him to collab. Because, yeah, showing up to Bryce Hall's house uninvited.
Why?
Made a move. Better yet, sneak into someone's private event without paying to ask them if they want to work together. That's how you start a business relationship founded on trust.
I don't want to collab.
My point is that Austin is infatuated with using famous
no
people
false
to
hope
make
there.
himself famous by crossing so many boundaries. I don't think he's a bad dude, but I think he's extremely confused on the right way to go about things.
That's illegal. It is.
Well,
it is. It's called stalking.
Inspiration, Eric.
Why is it so hard to be a creator in 2021? Who do we know who made it in 2020? Eric Decker, aka Eric. How am I gonna become the biggest YouTuber? Eric popped in my head.
I'm sure a lot of you might have heard of him before. He went from 0 to 1 million subscribers in 1 year. And a huge part of that growth was a series he did with Logan Paul that started out basically doing the same exact thing Austin did.
So the idea is to fly all the way to Miami, somehow obtaining an all-access pass, then using that all-access pass to hand-deliver my resume to Logan Paul.
And he did just that.
No fucking way.
He asked Logan Paul for a job. Logan said no. And then he went to his house to try to film more content, which Logan actually got upset at.
You going to dance parties tonight?
I think you're charismatic. I have a general rule of thumb, and that's gonna come to my fucking house.
Understood.
Lightly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you guys to leave.
Easy.
Now, in the end, it worked out for Eric. He had a very popular series where he bought these expensive couches from Logan Paul, which made for good content, and the clout sharking, despite its initial hiccups, was ultimately a success. Is there a difference between what Eric did and what Austin is doing when he told us that he is explicitly taking inspiration from...
So, I'm assuming that Eric guy does more than show up to Logan Paul's house, right? That's not what got him big. I'm unfamiliar with Eric. Let's trace it back. We'll be like an epidemiologist here plotting the course. So it looks like it didn't start with the Logan Paul thing. So when did he do that? Okay, so it looks like he did this unsuccessfully, but it was a viral video. He milked it for all those titties could produce. And that must have given... Oh, he's still milking it. I bought Logan Paul's couch. Okay. Paul's again. Okay. So that was the strat. And it worked. I mean, hey, congrats. Did him and Logan Paul become friends or something at some point? Or is this just clickbait? Maybe some bot views as well? Yeah. I imagine most of these startup channels, like someone going 0 to a million in a year, also buy bots. Because clearly Arax is a pretty wealthy individual. Like, even before the YouTube success, they seem to have a pretty good handle on money. So they probably at least bought something. Doesn't YouTube notice that? Probably. But I'm sure there's ways around it. That's how Travis Scott got his start. He botted his SoundCloud and then leveraged it with a record company. That was confirmed by his manager, who was the one that botted it for him after being paid for it. So there's definitely ways around the system. And it looks like it really worked well for this guy. And he did exactly what Austin did. That's fucking crazy.
The couch buying series made more sense because he bought the couches and had a reason to show up at his house. While it sucks to say, I think the only difference is whether you come off likable and confident to the person instead of creepy, which Austin is definitely failing at. I would like to say that Airrack is the exception and not the rule, because how bad would it be to start a meta where young content creators think that they need to sneak into private events and stalk other influencers for content? My advice to Austin, who will probably watch this, is just make your own content for now. You're not anybody yet, people do not know you, and you should not be trying to make content that relies on somebody else who is an unwilling participant, because it's needy, it's annoying, and in some cases it's illegal. Austin, I really do wish you the best. You seem passionate, and I hope you stay positive, so please take my criticisms and jokes in stride, but also hear them out. Wanting to be famous...
I have advice for Austin as well. If you're in the chat, stop. Just stop. People spend their whole lives dedicated to striving for one thing that they're just not good at. You are not built for, like, influencer shit. I hate that fucking word, but it's what he keeps labeling it as. It's not for you, man. So stop wasting your time and being a burden and nuisance to everyone that you try and, like, rope into it. You need to find what you're good at, and it's not TikTok and videos and shit. Not saying it just to be mean, it's just genuine advice. There are people that will spend their whole lives in a field that they are just not good at. I've seen it all the time with, like, art, writing. Like people will literally live this and be trash at it forever. You just need to find what you're actually good at. Yeah, stalking. Like, you seem to be pretty efficient at stalking and tracking down celebrities. Why not open, like, a private eye business where you solve, like, domestic cases or something? I don't know. See if a husband's cheating on a wife. That could be more up your alley. Paparazzi should be illegal. I would never tell someone to try and be a paparazzi. That should actually be a crime. Paparazzi is just organized stalking.
Nonetheless. Anyways, be sure to subscribe as well as follow me on Instagram.
Good shit, Gunner.
If you want to track my geolocation, and check out my Patreon if you want
another banger.
Nice, man. Relationship with yours truly. With that said, good day. Oh, yeah. Can one of you pussies give me a job?
Thanks to the resub, guitar guy. Hey, Gunner. Good shit, man. No, I haven't watched Donkey's Elden Ring review yet. I plan on it, but I'd like to reach out first. Make sure he's okay with it on stream, and if not, I'll just watch it on my own. I usually watch Donkey on my own anyway. Thanks to Prime Harry. Whoa. From Degenerate Gambler. Oh, I see. Okay, this is getting a little sad. I'll say not really, but what I can do with it makes me happy. Like, being able to pay Moisty Esports players and, like, support them, and also be able to, like, cheer them on, that makes me happy. Or, like, paying to make the God Slap comic and, you know, paying the artist and all that, I like that. So being able to make those bigger things makes me happy, and for that it requires money. Thanks to Give Sub Coco, but it's not the money itself. So yesterday we went to a blacksmith. We were doing a little Forged in Fire competition of our own, and I got remarkably unlucky. So during the actual forging part, when you're hitting it with the hammer to actually, like, work harden the blade, I must have hit it too hard, and it shot scales, which are molten pieces of the metal. And typically when that happens, the scales will like bounce off you. Like it'll hurt and it'll bounce off you. But I got so unlucky that a couple scales landed on my hand and they were still like 2,000 degrees because the forge gets up to like 2,400. So by the time they shot up, they were cooling down. So they're like 2,000 degrees and they landed on my hand. And I couldn't get them off because they were so hot they stuck to my hand. I had to just sit there and painfully wait for them to cool down enough for me to flick them off. So obviously since they were that hot and stayed on for that long, I really fucked up my hand from it. So I can't really like play games or anything right now. It's better today though, and then I had to go get a tetanus shot this morning. It is better today though. This morning they were pretty fucked up. What were you making? I won't spoil, it's for a video. I won't spoil what we made. My blade came out pretty decent, all things considered. Everyone's did, really. It was a lot of fun. But that made me very upset. I just got very unlucky. You can't see anything. I just have them in band-aids now. Didn't Caleb make a kunai? Man, what the fuck? Was Caleb posting about it or something? Yeah, Caleb made a really nice kunai. He was the only one that made something small, though. All the other ones we made were, like, big. You weren't wearing heat-proof gloves? You were... So, the technique was... non-dominant hand goes in a heat-proof glove in order to hold it steady, but you wanted to keep your dominant hand ungloved so that way you had like better grip on the hammer or something. I don't remember now. But yeah, you only were wearing one heat glove. So with the other one it was just open, and it's uncommon for the scales to stick. They say it happened to the ones destined to forge a holy sword. My blade is nice. My sword came out beautiful. Looks like some Wolf, Demon, and Sodius. I modeled it after an Elden Ring blade, a beloved one. How do you get a sword done? You'll have to wait for the video, but it was a lot easier than I expected. Up until fucking second degree burned my flesh. But like all the way up until then, it was much simpler than I thought it would have been. It was a lot of angle grinding and then a lot of just like brute force. In fact, it was mostly angle grinding. It was almost a real fucking, like, tragedy. So when the shit got on my hand, it was, like, burning really hot, like, almost immediately. So instinct took over, and I immediately, like, bent down to try and get this shit off my hand. But I bent down kind of forward where the blade still was, which was still 2,000 degrees, and I almost fucking, like, headbutt the blade on my way down. It was a catastrophic failure, as Forged in Fire would say. It was close. Things went tits up in a hurry. I need to try this. Yeah, it was just like a blacksmithing class. I guess there's like local armorers that just have open classes. And it was really fun. Elden Ring live action. Yeah, I think this is a fan-made thing. I'm really not sure. Oh, speaking of live action, Halo starts tomorrow, baby. Episode 1 drops. That's so exciting. Yeah, it looks like most people didn't see this go up. I didn't see this either. We can check it out. Like I said, I think it's just like a fan-made thing for IGN. It's a commercial using a human. Oh. Let's check out this live action. So I was under the impression this was like kind of like Halo Landfall, but this is apparently just an ad. I'll still check it out anyway.
Hospital. Seek the Elden Ring.
This is cute. It is just an ad though. I'm literally just watching an ad.
Arrogance is failing. The quest for the Elden Ring will be no different.
Why can't I go? Oh, because I made it a new tab. That wasn't live action at all. Yeah, it was just like a human being introducing Elden Ring. A little misleading. You seen the Jelly Bean drama? Yeah. I keep up with like most of the commentary channels across the platform just to see what's going on. The Jelly Bean drama seems so fucking goofy. It seems like people didn't like her because they found her cringe. So then they just like annihilated her. She's like 16 or something. It's fucking weird. I didn't get it. Maybe there was more to it, but from what I skimmed, it just really seemed highly unnecessary because it's a kid making kids content, and a bunch of adults fucking blasted her for it. Yeah, she got doxxed, harassed, threatened, all kinds of crazy shit, all because they just didn't like the cringe of a child. Yeah, it's beyond petty. It's fucking pathetic. It's more cringe that grown adult... Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Green. I completely agree.